Welcome to episode number 22 of the Dugout Report. I am here with Millard from Locked On Diamondbacks, and I'm curious to hear what his thoughts are on the two games that have happened in Philadelphia. And welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to talk both of these D-backs victories that we have here over the Philadelphia Phillies. I mean, D-backs already with this series victory. I think they have 4 straight wins now, 3 straight series wins. So feeling pretty good as a D-backs fan. I think they're 9 games above 500 now, trying to get that 10th game above 500 with a series sweep over the Philadelphia Phillies tomorrow. I'm feeling pretty good right now.
What were your thoughts on tonight's game?
Mostly I felt like it was kind of similar to yesterday's game where the D-backs started off early with the scoring first. Phillies battle back, but overall the starter looks pretty good. Ryan Nelson, he went, what was his exact line today? 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run. It was one of the better Ryan Nelson starts. He threw his fastball velo was up almost a mile an hour in this game. It's something that's been trending upwards. It seems like now for the better course of a month. He's been pitching better in 3 of his last 4 starts. And for the D-backs, I mean, back-to-back days where your youngsters put together solid efforts, not exactly quality starts, at least not for Tommy Henry yesterday. Ryan Nelson did get a quality start, but both of your youngsters look good. They both pitch into the 6th inning at least. The offense gets the scoring started early, but then the bullpen in both of those games struggle later. They didn't give up the lead in yesterday's game, but in today's game, the bullpen did give up the lead. Cal Nelson gave up 2 earned runs, and with the bullpen struggling both days, the offense was able to bounce back, and they did it immediately. And in today's game, we saw the offense immediately after the Phillies scored 2 in the 7th. They score 1 in the 8th. They probably should have got a couple more runs in the 8th because at one point they had like bases loaded. I think only 1 out, and they weren't able to tack on another run. But both games, the D-backs have their offense start early. Their starting pitching look good. The bullpen struggles, but then the offense is able to come through in the end to save the bullpen and save the starters and save the victory. This was a great D-backs win in terms of resilience in back-to-back days. And the Philadelphia Phillies, they're the reigning National League champions. So to beat this team the way they did with the ways they were able to come back in both games, it was really impressive 2 wins, I think, by the D-backs.
What are your thoughts on Luis Gurriel Jr.'s hitting streak continuing to power up?
Yeah, I mean, Lourdes Gurriel has been insane for the D-backs. Of course, he had 1 hit tonight. He had 4 hits in game 1, but Gurriel had just been a monster for the D-backs this season. And it's been a real revelation because everyone knew he was like a solid player, but he was kind of like the ancillary piece, right? In that Dalton Varsho trade, it was Varsho for Gabriel Moreno and Lourdes Gurriel, but Moreno was the prize that we got back. We were just happy to be like, okay, we got a nice little outfielder that we can throw in right field to replace the Dalton Varsho. But little did we know, Lourdes Gurriel right now is the prize from that trade because he's been outplaying Dalton Varsho this year. Gabriel Moreno has been really good too, by the way, as a catcher. I mean, defensively, we've seen it in this series, throwing out guys. Moreno saving balls from going to the backstop. He's been really good. He's also like a 300 hitter. Maybe he needs to draw a few more walks. Maybe he needs to add a little bit more power. But if he's going to play elite defense and bat 300, you're going to be happy. But Lourdes Gurriel has just been so good for the D-backs this season from a power standpoint, from a clutchness standpoint, when there's runners in scoring position, when it's a high leverage moment later in the game. There's few players on this team that you want more at the plate than a Lourdes Gurriel, who's just been phenomenal for the D-backs this whole season. I'm still shocked that he was like the quote unquote throw-in piece in that Dalton Varsho trade, but so far he's been the best player in that deal, and I've been ecstatic for Lourdes Gurriel, and hopefully the D-backs can keep him beyond this season if he continues to play like this.
My next question is, what is your perspective on Trey Turner's struggles, not only throughout the series, but throughout the overall season?
Yeah, I mean, Trey Turner, he signed that massive contract with the Philadelphia Phillies in the offseason. I wasn't mad at it because I thought Trey Turner was a dude that should command that kind of contract just because you look at his last few seasons, like he's been, of course, a 300 hitter for his career, over 800 OPS. And then the last couple of years, he's really dived into the power department with over 20 home runs in each of the last couple seasons. So you knew this was one of the fastest players in baseball. Now he's got speed, or excuse me, now he's got power. He's going to hit you 300. He's going to have a near 900 OPS. And so the fact they started off the season so slow is kind of surprising, kind of shocking with considering how many at bats he has. He's currently leading the National League in at bats. So he's had a lot of plate appearances. He's been healthy this season. He's seen a lot of pitches. And I want to believe that guy who just turned 30 years old can still turn it around. It's not like he should just continue playing like this the rest of the season. And maybe he will be, because sometimes when stars go to new teams and scenarios, I think a lot of times that first year, like we saw with Francisco Lindor with the New York Mets, a lot of times that first year isn't always the smoothest. And so Trey Turner, I think he will turn this season around, but even if he doesn't, I don't think this is what we're going to see from Trey Turner for the rest of his Philadelphia career. Yes, it's a long contract. Yes, it's a lot of money, and Philadelphia fans don't want to see year one of the contract of that kind of magnitude go down and be wasted. But I don't think we expected Bryce Harper to be back this early. So with Bryce Harper being back, get him going in the groove. You get Trey Turner going. Like, this Phillies team is still loaded with talent with the Schwarbers and you got still the Nolas and the Zach Wheelers. Like, I still like this Phillies team a lot, but Trey Turner is one of the catalysts in that lineup. And for the Phillies to get over the hump, and because they've just been kind of mediocre this year, the Phillies do want to get to the next level and get back in that conversation for the wild card and playoffs and World Series contention. Trey Turner is one of those guys that have to pick it up. And I do want to believe that a guy who's had this resume of just being an elite hitter throughout his entire career can turn it around once again this season.
I know that they have to travel to Atlanta next, the Phillies, and what is your perspective on that series? And do you think that the Phillies can take any games?
Who do the Phillies play next? Sorry.
The Braves.
Oh, I mean, any team could take any game against anyone, right? I mean, I saw the Oakland A's almost beat the D-backs in the series, where the D-backs had to really pull out 2 wins and have a come from behind victory. And they still only took 2 out of 3 from the Oakland A's, because it's baseball and any team could be anyone. But for the Phillies Braves series, I want to believe and assume that the Braves are going to win that series, maybe take 2 out of 3. I don't know if it's a 3-4 game series, whatever it is. I don't think it'll be a sweep. I do want to believe the Braves are going to win that series. One, because, I mean, Ronald Acuna, someone who's been a face of that franchise, has been electric so far this season. I think he probably already has like 24 stolen bases, something crazy. The rest of that lineup is pretty deep as well. I mean, they got just so much young talent, and they have a guy in that rotation that could win the Cy Young Award this year, and Spencer Strider, who's only in his second season. So the thing about the Braves is, they let guys like Freddie Freeman go, and they're still able to replace him with guys like Matt Olson. They let guys like Dansby Swanson go, but it's okay because you have youngsters like Michael Harris and Spencer Strider that you want to pay in the next few years. So this Braves team just has so much young talent. They're so loaded, and they are probably the best model for how to build a franchise going forward, because they're one of those teams that lock up their young stars so early. They didn't waste no time with the Michael Harrises of the world. They didn't waste any time with the Ronald Acuñas of the world to lock them up. I'm not sure if he's signed yet, Spencer Strider, but I'm sure after this season, if he's not, the Braves will probably try to start those contract extension talks. And I think it's I think the Braves are one of the model teams for why the D-backs gave Corbin Carroll that long-term 8 years, $100+ million contract before seeing him even have a full rookie season. Because when you think you have a guy that can live up to certain ceiling or certain expectations that you have, we do have a guy that you project to be an all-star plus player, and they did show a few flashes on the major league level. It's better to pay that guy early and get that contract kind of on a bargain, as opposed to paying them later on in life, and then maybe having an albatross kind of a contract, or, they're 29, 30 years old now. Now you're going to give them an 8-9 year deal. Why not just pay for the best years of that player's prime? That's what the Braves have been doing, giving these guys who are in their early to mid 20s long-term contracts. You'd rather pay for the best years of a player in their prime. And as a player, you're avoiding arbitration. You're getting all that money up front. So the Braves have been a model franchise. And do I think the Phillies could beat them in a series? Yeah, I do think they can, just because the Phillies also have a lot of talent. I mean, it probably depends on how the pitching matchups shake down, but the Phillies have so many dudes that could change the game with the one swing of the bat with the Kyle Schwarbers, the Castellanos still, the Bryce Harpers, Trey Turner. Maybe he turns it around in this series. Like, I want to say because the Braves are playing like the best baseball in the National League, they'll win the series against the Philadelphia Phillies. But would it shock anyone if the Phillies start to get hot and turn their season around? I don't think it would at all.
And my last question is, what is your what are your thoughts on the series finale tomorrow?
Well, that's a very good question. Real quick, let me just look up the pitching matchup for tomorrow, because that's definitely going to sway my opinion on tomorrow's game. So I got it pulled up here on MLB.com because the D-backs already had two youngsters going. And so tomorrow we got, oh, now that I'm looking at it, sir, I see Zach Gallen on the mound versus Ranger Suarez. Zach Gallen coming off his worst start of the season, arguably against the Pittsburgh Pirates, where he just got absolutely rocked and lit up by that Pirates offense who struggles to score runs. Somehow they were able to take it to Zach Gallen. And so for this game tomorrow, I want to assume Zach Gallen is going to be back in his bag after having a start where he gave up like between 6 and 8 earned runs. I don't remember how many it is off the top of my head. I want to believe he's going to try to start a new scoreless streak tomorrow against the Philadelphia Phillies. It won't be easy because, like I said, that Phillies lineup has so many dudes in there that I respect and honestly fearful of. But Zach Gallen is that dude. I thought before his last start, he was the FanDuel favorite to win the Cy Young Award. He's probably number 3 and number 4 now, but I want Zach Gallen to get back on that Cy Young Award track. I want him to win the Cy Young Award. And to do that, he needs to get that ERA a little bit lower once again, and hopefully he can start a new scoreless streak against the Philadelphia Phillies tomorrow. With Zach Gallen on the mound, I'm always picking the D-backs. It's pretty much automatic. I see Gallen or Merrill Kelly pitching. I'm like, all right, D-backs have a 75% chance of winning tomorrow. So with Zach Gallen on the mound in the series finale, yeah, I'm picking the D-backs.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see if the Phillies offense can spark up in the series finale. And thank you so much for coming on, and hope to have you back on soon.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on, Alex.
Thank you.